What is going on, guys and gals? This is Gaming for God coming at you with another update to the vlog series that is a weekly thing here on this YouTube channel, and I appreciate you guys stopping by to watch it. And I'm excited to share with you guys the things that happened while I was at GameCon. Many of you are already aware of several of the incredible things that occurred, and honestly, I could not be more grateful for. But without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to share with you all the things God did for me and through this community in Missouri.
Let my life be the proof of your love.
The first thing I want to do is I want to share with you the cool part about GameCon. The attendance this year was quite a bit lower, which may sound like a bad thing, but it really wasn't. It was a huge blessing to me because I got the opportunity to know fewer people, but in a more intimate level, which is what many of you realize and probably know by now is kind of my gig. That's what I prefer. I love creating those very strong and meaningful friendships and relationships with those that are around me. With that said, the attendance wasn't necessarily as high as I was expecting it for sure, and I don't think it was as high as even those that attended besides me were expecting, but it was definitely still a huge blessing. And I want to go ahead and show you a couple of things that I got video-wise from there. Most of these are setups as well as the rooms that we were in, and then we're going to move on to a few other things that happened because it wasn't just GameCon that was a big part of this. In fact, I'm saving the best for last. Hey, before we get into the video, can you guys do me a huge favor? If you have not already, do me and you a favor. Click the subscribe button, and right next to it, I need you to ring the bell so you get notified for when I drop my next video. And if you end up liking this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up at the end or dislike it if there was something about it you didn't like. Also, feel free to drop a comment about what you didn't like. But let's get into that video so you can see what's going on. Definitely some sick footage. The setups were incredible. Mine was way nicer than what I have at home, except for the audio. I think that was really the only thing. Obviously, as you guys can tell, this mic's really nice. And when I got there, I was using a headset mic, which is a completely different level of quality. And honestly, the computer build that I had that I got to use was super cool. No pun intended, because there was some really cool cooling in it. Yeah, that's a bad joke. I'm not sorry though. It's still going in the video. There was one piece of footage that I left because I really wanted to emphasize how much I appreciated this. I was walking around outside the front of the building, and I'll be honest, the day of GameCon, I was operating on about 2.5 hours of sleep was all. And I had just traveled the day before, so I was really tired. And I saw this incredible walkway that had some really encouraging phrases above it that were all biblically based in Psalms. So I definitely want to show that to you. I'm going to go ahead and roll that footage now so you guys can see what I saw. Is it just me, or is that really cool? Another thing that I thought was really cool is I got the opportunity to meet the Christian Ninja, or Carl as I've always known him, as well as the Blue Spartan 42, or Austin as I've come to know him as well. They were both at the event, and they are members of my Twitch community online as well. Here's the photo that I took with them pretty much right after they got there. Really excited. As you can tell from all three of us, we were really pumped. It was a really great moment. And actually, I got the opportunity to stay with Carl after the event for a couple extra days. And there's some things that happened after the event and after those next couple of days that were planned that are really cool. And we're going to talk about those after I show you some awesome footage from us playing mini golf. And throughout that footage, you're going to see this little cut of there's There was a grandma that was mowing a lawn, and she looked a little older than somebody who should be on a lawnmower that was a riding lawnmower. So you're going to hear me say, oh, grandma, come on, grandma, we talked about this. And now you'll understand. She's not actually my grandma. It was just meant to be humorous, and I don't know. It sounded fun at the time. Quick vlog update. It took me clubbing. Get it? Clubbing. It's funny. Not really. Grandma, where are you going? Grandma, why are you on the lawnmower? Grandma, your heart's starting to help. Grandma, come on, Grandma.
That didn't work out quite like it was meant to.
Come on. Grandma. It is the secret to my success. Something about this one, man. They already know the fire performance I'm about to put out is going to need to be extinguished.
Hi, Carl. I'm good with it.
I just put a lot of pressure on Carl, but he's ready for it. Ready for the shot. Bonk ass. Look how close he is. Austin is our videographer for this incredible shot. He said he's going to the right, boys. He called it right before I started this. Here we go.
Alright. Why didn't they?
Why? I had to run over here. Carl was ready. Okay, here we go.
There's a tunnel. Yeah. It goes back inside too.
Oh, I didn't know that
It's the
either.
last hole. Hard.
It's close. This is not looking good.
What, Austin switching face cam? You got it.
Okay, I'm down. All right, ladies and gentlemen,
This
prepare
right
for him to hit
stance.
this out. He's ready.
Wow. He actually got a bar.
I have a feeling Austin's gonna win, purely because he's the one doing the math. And that's how far off he is. All right, so for the first half, so Cat, right? Carl, Austin, David. So I won the first half and the second half and the game, but not by much. And honestly, I have saved the best for last. Many of you know that while I do create YouTube content here, I also create Twitch content. I stream 34 hours a week. And a lot of people would understate that. They'd be like, you know what, 34 hours, that's not that long. You know, there's people that stream 50 to 60. You're right. There are people that stream that much. I don't know how they do it, to be honest with you. And I encourage you, if you don't think 34 hours a week is a lot of streaming, I encourage you to do it for a week and see what it's like. Because it's fun, but it's definitely a challenge. With that said, you guys understand that I do have a Twitch community, and if you don't, well, now you know. Also, the link for that's in the description below. You should go follow if you haven't already, because things like this thing that I'm about to share with you happen through this community constantly, and it's a beautiful thing. Many of you know that I live in Idaho Falls, Idaho to be specific, and I flew to Missouri. That was my method of transportation, and when I booked the flight to get home from Kansas City, I booked it with my wife Morgan's credit card that still has her first and last name, but her last name is still her maiden name. And when I booked it online, the Delta website kept kicking back that I wasn't giving them the right billing address. I checked with our card company, we were good there, I checked everything. So what it said at the end was, you know what, fine, we'll go ahead and let it go through, but you need to bring the card with you. That's me summarizing the legal stuff they put up, okay? And I'm like, okay, no problem. Well, I'll be honest, I forgot it, okay? And before you click away from the video and you're like, oh, this guy's an idiot. Well, I am an idiot. But don't click away from the video because there's a cool part to this. I realized it Monday. Tuesday, I was supposed to fly back. Monday, I realized it, called Delta, and I'm like, what do I do? And they're like, well, it doesn't matter if your wife's name was on it. Even if it was your wife's name with your married last name, you wouldn't have been able to fly because you couldn't have proved the card was yours, which was nowhere specified in there. I was very careful to read through all of that. So, after a lot of phone calls, I got the flight refunded. I got my bus ticket from Salt Lake City to Idaho Falls refunded as well. You could understand that at that point I would be I was pretty scared, I'll be honest. I was terrified. And I was praying to God, and I'm like, look, I don't know what to do. I need you to help me. and he really put it on my heart to go live. So I borrowed Carl's setup because I didn't have my own. I borrowed his setup, literally a camera and a donation bar, and said, look guys, I've got a problem, and expressed everything I just told you to my stream. Within 20 minutes, there was $65 donated. And right after that, I got one of them said to get a hold of him. He reached out to me through Discord. I ended up on the phone with him, muted the stream for a minute, and he bought my ticket home, literally. Paid for every single dime, and then said, the rest of that money, I want you to make sure you get the bus ticket, eat well, because you're going to be there a couple extra days, and who the person I was staying with was planning. He's like, make sure you guys have enough money for food to get you home, and then whatever's left, gift it in subs to your community. Unfortunately, the bus ticket was like $53, I think, before the refund of the $20 ticket. So I still had $30 against a $65 donation, and then to buy food over the next little while. And then I had one more donation that was actually offline as well. So we fed ourselves, we kept ourselves fed, and I got some snacks for the flights and stuff. Because the flights were funky. As much as I appreciated them, they were definitely funky. I went from Kansas City to San Francisco, from San Francisco to Phoenix, from Phoenix to Salt Lake, and then Salt Lake bus ride home. It was really weird, but it worked out, and I got home, and that's all I really cared about. Thank you again for watching this episode of the vlog series. My name's Gaming for God, otherwise known as David Orr IRL. It's been my pleasure to chat with you guys. If you guys have any questions about anything that's going on over the next little while as we enter into the summer on YouTube and that kind of stuff, please feel free to comment down below. Until next time, this is Gaming for God, and I am signing off.